Assalamualaikum. My name Muhammad FIRDAUS bin RAZAK. Today I will tell about introduction and company background. Introduction. Financial analysis is the process and organization financial performance by analysis financial statement. The key financial statement used for financial analysis include the balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. There are different techniques used for financial analysis, such as ratio analysis, trend analysis, and comparative analysis. Powerwood. Powerwood Berhad is a private Malaysia beverage manufacturer and distribution that was established on July 23, 1999 in Johor Bahru, Johor. Powerwood products are also marketed in several countries, include Korea, Japan, China, and others. Wong Tak Keong holds the position of Managing Director and is an important figure in developing the Powerwood product so that it is known all over the world. Guangchong. Guangchong Berhad was incorporated in Malaysia as a public company on March 22, 2004 and listed on the main market of Bursa Malaysia on April 8, 2005. An investment holding company that started with 3 subsidiaries: Guangchong Cocoa Manufacture, GGCM, Guangchong Trading, GCT, and Enrich Mix, EM. Mainly involved in the manufacture of food products derived from cocoa, namely cocoa mass, cocoa butter, cocoa cake, and cocoa powder.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is SAFIYYA. My number is H1B2607. I will present you about Powerwood Berhad liquidity ratio. So liquidity ratio have 3 parts, which is current ratio, quick ratio, and also net working capital. So as you can see, the current ratio in 2020 for Powerwood Berhad is 4.50. While 2021 is 7.11.
Next, the quick ratio. The value of the quick ratio in 2020 is 4.50. Meanwhile, the value of the quick ratio in 2021 is 7.11. Lastly, for the net working capital ratio in equity ratio, the value of net working capital in 2020 is 72,647 ringgit 361. So for 2021 is 76,703 816 ringgit. Shows that the Powerwood Berhad net working capital from 2020 until 2021 is increased. Next, for the Powerwood Berhad leverage or debt ratio, they have 3 types of ratio, which are debt ratio, debt to equity, and also time interest earned. For the debt ratio, the value of the debt ratio in 2020 is 0.07, meanwhile in 2021 is 0.04. Next, debt to equity ratio. The value of debt to equity ratio in 2020 is 0.08, meanwhile in 2021 is 0.04.
Last one, for the time interest earned, they have shows the value of types interest earned for both of years, which is years 2020 and also 2021.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is NURUL AMIERA binti RUGANI and my metric number is H21B2550. I will explain about liquidity ratio. There are 3 types of liquidity ratio, which is current ratio, quick ratio, and net working capital. Current ratio of Guangchong in 2020 is 1.60, while in 2021 it dropped to 1.24. Meanwhile, quick ratio for Guangchong in 2020 also 1.60 and 1.24 in 2021. This is because Guangchong Malaysia Berhad doesn't have liabilities. The net working capital in 2020 is 10,257,101 ringgit Malaysia, while in 2021 it decreased to 5,555,520 ringgit Malaysia. Next, I will explain about leverage or debt ratio. There are three types of leverage or debt ratio, which is debt ratio, debt to equity, and time interest earned. The total debt ratio in 2020 is 0.53 and dropped to 0.52 to 2021, while for debt to equity also shown less leverage, which is 1.17 in 2020 and decreased to 1.08 in 2021. Time interest earned for Guangchong shown a very large decline from 48.64 in 2020 to 2.33 in 2021. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad AL-IMRAN bin AL-PAKRI and my metric number is HFT20303. Today, I would like to present about the comparative analysis, which is conclude the liquidity ratios and activity ratios. For the liquidity ratios, there are two compartments that I would like to present. So, firstly is the current ratio and next is quick ratio. For the first part in liquidity ratio, I would like to present about the table 1, which is current ratio. There are two companies that we compare in 2 years. Firstly is Power Roots Berhad and Guangchong's Malaysia Berhad. So for the comparative analysis based on the graph current ratio, for firstly is the current ratio is a form of asset to liability connection used in comparative analysis. So for 2021, Power Roots Berhad scored 7.11 and for another company, which is Guangchong Malaysia Berhad, they score 1.24. And so the difference ratio between this company is 5.87. Quick ratio is a measure of a company capacity to turn liquid asset into cash to meet a short-term financial obligation. So for these 2 years that we conclude that Guangchong Malaysia Berhad meeting short-term financial obligation, while for Power Roots Berhad is able to transform liquid asset into cash more quickly than Guangchong Malaysia Berhad for these 2 years, because Power Roots Berhad score 71.11 before 2022, and this is we conclude that the asset is more higher than Guangchong Malaysia Berhad for 2022. For the activity ratios, there are two components that which is we can include and research about this company. So for the first one is account receivable turnover and the fixed assets turnover. For the first part in activity ratios, which is account receivable turnover. Account receivable turnover is according to comparative analysis. The account receivable reveals how frequently receivable were collected over these two company. So, which is the first one is Power Roots Berhad and Guangchong's Malaysia Berhad. For the last part is about the fixed assets turnover. For the comparative analysis, when we compare these two companies, the fixed assets turnover ratios demonstrate how effectively the business earns revenue from 2021 and 2022. So, we can conclude that the difference for both business is 1.16 for 2021 and 2022. We can conclude that Power Roots Berhad score higher and has asset for higher receivable turnover fixed asset in 2022 compared to Guangchong's Malaysia Berhad.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad AIZAT bin Muhammad HISAFUDIN. My metric number is H21A2861. Today, I would like to present about debt ratio and debt to equity. Now, I would like to present about debt ratio. Based on debt ratio graph, power root was shown decrease from 0.07% to 0.04% in 2021. And it is also same with Guanchong. In 2020, Guanchong shown 0.53%, while in 2021 is 0.52%. And second thing is about debt to equity. It is also same with debt ratio. It is shown decrease percentage for both of companies. And examples for power root in 2020 it is shown 0.08%, while in 2021 it is shown 0.04%. Now it is all about profitability ratio, and it is have two elements. First is return on equity, and the second is return on assets. First things in profitability ratio is about return on equity. I guess Power have more profit than Guanchong. Why I thought like that? Because I just think based on the data. And in 2020, power root shown 0.19%, while Guanchong just 0.15%. But different story. Power root and Guanchong have similar percentage. In 2021, it is just 0.08%. And last but not least from me, I would like to present about return on assets. Power root shown 0.18% in 2020, while Guanchong just 0.07%. But in 2021, it is also same. Power root stay higher than Guanchong. Power root shown 0.08%, while Guanchong only 0.03%. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad ARIFFUDIN bin KHAIRUL Anwar. My matrix number is H21A2848. Today, I would like to talk about overall analysis. The quick ratio for Guanchong Berhad decreased in 2020 compared to 2021. It showed that Guanchong Berhad decreased because of society deficiency in the source of income for buying goods. Total turnover asset of Power Root Berhad is decreased from 2020 to 2021. Meanwhile, Guanchong Berhad are the sum horizontal from 2020 to 2021. Because there is saving expenditure, production, a lot of sources already reduced, and user machine is reduced in production. And last, the ratio for Power Root Berhad and Guanchong Berhad decreased from year 2020 to 2021 because of the effect reduction source production, which both of company have least preserve the customer and income inferior product. Thank you. Next is conclusion. Analyze the Power Root and Guanchong Berhad record declining profit data. This is caused by the current COVID-19 pandemic, which give impact on the industry, food and other sector that will they facing challenge and disruption. Make the conclusion that projects show us that learning about management financial evolved more from knowledge story. It also involves research what has been us learn all our problem faced in daily course. So a news platform finance and firm analyst finance reputable can give insights and analysis about performance financial with take account effect the COVID-19 pandemic and other related factor. That's all for me. Thank you.